tell you this right now, I'm probably the wrong person to be reviewing this, so if you're an Apple fanboy, if you want to close your browser, I think it should be in that general direction. You'll see an X. That button closes your web browser, so you can leave now if you want. Anyway, got the iPod Touch 4th generation, 8 gig model, and I've been using it for about a week, and I think it's about time for a review. And I know everything looks red. I adjusted the white balance ahead of time, so the screen on this looks as good on camera as it possibly can. So, what do I think about the iPod Touch overall? Know if you have a capable smartphone already. Because I don't think I'm the target audience for an iPod Touch. I don't listen to much music. I know it sounds weird. I just don't. I don't have many videos that I watch on the go, and even if I do, I have a Droid 1, which is more than capable, and I do it on there, you know. And the app market. Yes, it's got the quantity aspect of it, but I don't think it has the quality aspect. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But I think it's more for casual gamers. It's not meant for hardcore gamers, any of the games there's a few exceptions, but I'll get into that. So, big improvements with the new iPod Touch. You have a camera in the back that my camera won't autofocus on. Must be jealous, it's another camera. Microphone for FaceTime and the HD video recording, and a camera on the front for FaceTime and, pictures. And the screen on this, wipe some smudges off first. The screen on this thing is freaking fantastic. It's the same screen as the iPhone 4. Super high resolution. Let's get a focus in on that. How far could we go in before it stops focusing? Look at the high resolution on that screen. Let me make sure that it doesn't fall asleep. Can we get closer? Didn't realize my camera could focus in this much. My thumb is touching the camera. So you can see that it's an insanely high resolution. It's pretty difficult to make out the individual pixels on the screen. It's pretty insane. Whoa, hold on. Hold on. Wait, it's almost got it. Yep. Okay, there we go. What else was I going to say? The screen, and the A4 processor, Apple's own A4 processor, the same one that they use in the iPad and the iPhone 4, is now in this iPod. So, really fast. Not much lag to it. And it's iOS version 4, which introduces the same features as iOS 4, like FaceTime, obviously. The ability to make folders, like there's a utilities folder that I put all the boring stuff in. And you can just drag stuff into a folder. And you can click on a folder, see what's in it, or you can take stuff in it or out of it. You can rename the folder. And if you want to make a new folder, all you have to do is just take two things and drag them together, and that automatically makes a folder. A couple other little things in iOS 4 too, but won't get into that, like the wallpaper, for example. You can see that. I haven't had a chance to test out FaceTime. I don't have anybody to test it with. I tried the Apple test call line, and it didn't work, so whatever. Let's take a look at the camera. Camera, with the fast processor, it's pretty fast. Loads up fast, I guess. The pictures aren't even a megapixel. Now, I can understand why they did that, because some people are saying, why didn't they put a 5.1 in there like the iPhone? Well, then it gives people one less reason to buy the iPhone. That's why I think they waited so long to put a camera in here. It's because it gives people one less reason to buy the iPhone. And people wanted the camera, people wanted it, they kept wanting it. They said, alright, we'll give you a camera, but you get a really crappy camera. I don't really blame them for that. Plus, this iPod is incredibly thin. I think if there was a 5 megapixel camera on there, could possibly make the iPod a little bit thicker. So, be happy with what you get, I guess. And you click here to switch to video recording. And of course, you've got the HD video. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Are we recording? Okay, we're recording. My thumb's in the camera lens there. Alright, test video. Cameo! Okay, there we go. So that's our video. And then you can click down here, look at your video, and you can edit it. You can trim it. Yeah, you've probably seen this one before, at least on someone else's review, probably. Yeah, and then you could trim it, trim original, or save as new clip. There we go. Not really going to get into the video playback on here either. I mean, the video playback on an iPod Touch is already fantastic, and then combine it with the processor and the screen of this one, it kind of goes without saying that it looks freaking awesome, and I didn't have any videos on hand really to load it up with. I think I did put music on here to test out the new speaker in here. They actually gave this thing a legit speaker. Instead of just playing out of the dock connector, see, that's the actual speaker right there. I know my nails are long. See, kiddies, that's what laziness does to you. And I guess some sound does still come out of the dock connector too, so it sounds pretty good. This guy on YouTube made these remixes from the songs of Mega Man 10. I know I'm a nerd. What you gonna do? Let's play this one here. Oh, I have the volume turned down. Yeah, when I remember the guy's name, I'll give him proper credit, whether if it's down there in an annotation in the video or something like that, because he deserves the credit. He does good remixes, and I think I just left the song playing, but it's muted. There we go. Now I paused it. So, let's see. The music, the camera, I'm not going to bother with the video playback. The maps, it's Google Maps, you know. iTunes doesn't need to be explained. The Game Center. Let's show off the Game Center. I think, for me, the Game Center kind of feels like what the Xbox Live integration is going to be like when Windows Phone 7 comes out. You can add people as friends. You have games that are specifically made for the Game Center, and they have integration such as achievements. You can update your status. And I hate how iOS loves to randomly decide when you can get a landscape keyboard and when you can't. Oh, God. All right. Spelling fail. The iPod. There we go, so I just updated my status. And I have some friends added on there. The two games I have for it are Enigmo and... How can I actually view the other one? Ah, there we go. And Flight Control. They're... Flight Control, it's just, you know, it was 99 cents. It's a simple go for the high score game. Enigma 1 was good, but the second one really proves how the iPod Touch is not meant for a heavy, hardcore gamer. Let me play the game and I'll show you. This game really reminds me of how much I desire to just have physical buttons to press. So, you move the playing field around like this, and unlike the first one, the second one's in 3D now. You move the playing field like that, you do that to rotate the field, and you do that to zoom. Sometimes the zooming thinks it's rotating, sometimes the rotating thinks it's zooming, and of course now it's not really acting up all that much on camera, which is kind of bugging me. But, just getting to where you want to be can be a real pain, and it just makes me wish I had buttons to just rotate the... Okay, see, now I'm trying to move. Oh, wait. No, that was my fault, actually. What can be really difficult is when you're putting an object down, and first of all, you're trying to figure out what plane you're in. And then it can be a chore figuring out how to get it rotated the way you want. Depending on which way you're looking at it, that determines the way you're going to rotate it or move it. And it's just way too confusing. The 3D aspect it just makes me wish I had buttons to press so bad, because I can never get the little trampolines the way I want to move the water into the baskets, and it's just so frustrating. I definitely prefer games that have a straight start to finish, not a go for the high score thing. But like I said, Enigma 1 was great. It was straight up 2D. It does make you pull your hair out, but it's not as bad as Enigma 2, which introduced the 3D. And, like, okay, Angry Birds, for example. Angry Birds is a highly addictive, very fun game to play. He hasn't updated it yet for the high-res screen of the iPod Touch, so the resolution is still kind of low. But especially with the new processor, it's got a great frame rate now. I have the volume turned down. This game, it can be hard to try to get a 3-star rating in all the levels, but it's a really fun game. The App Store does have a few gems, but most of it's just covered up with fart apps. You know what? Funny true story. In fact, there's so many in there. Apple has recently come out with new guidelines for app approvals, and they've literally come out straight and said, we don't need any more fart apps. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Doodle Jump is a very good game. Again, I'm not really a fan of just go for the high score game. I need, a level-to-level kind of game. If there's any other gems on here, LOL Cats are good for a laugh every now and then. Flight Control is decent. Mega Man 2, it just makes me wish I had buttons. Again, Motorola Droid. I have some emulators on here for games. Physical keyboard makes it 10 times more fun to play. I have a more capable portable device already. I don't need this. Monkey Ball, the tilt controls. You can't... What if you're commuting on a train? It's physically impossible to play a tilt-based game. Imagine playing Labyrinth on the train. That'd be impossible. What else was on here? Up there, you gotta get the balloon up to the top. That's Andrea's favorite game. Sorry, it's an inside joke. Probably about 3 people in the world will ever get that joke. Sorry to make you listen to my rant on the App Store. That's just how I feel about it. But that also ties in with how I feel about the iPod Touch overall. If you already have an iPod Touch, just stick with what you have. This is nice, yeah, but unless you seriously have the money to throw away, it's not worth upgrading to, because the screen, the processor, and the cameras, they don't make up for the $200-300 price tag that you'll be paying just for the upgrade. Especially if you already own a capable device that does even more, like makes phone calls, for example, and has physical buttons, which makes some games a lot easier to play. Just put your music and videos on here. There's good Android apps too, like there's Double Twist, which is a good iTunes clone for Android. If you got a Droid, when it comes to music and video, you're already set. You don't need an iPod Touch. But if you have a cheap flip phone, maybe, yeah, get this to complement it. Otherwise, these two, not really necessary. The smartphone comes out on top. I mean, especially if you already have an iPhone, you'd be stupid to buy one of these, I think. But this has been more of a rant, hasn't it, than a review. Sorry. But, thanks for watching my review, and, I guess at this point it's up to you if you want to buy one of these things.